Hello everyone, and a belated Happy New Year to you all. I know it's 3 weeks in already, but fuck it, better late than never, right? So yeah, hope 2020 treats you all well and that you get some nice brews done this year. I've got a few things to talk about in this video, including a bit of news about a podcast that I'm trying to get started up with a friend of mine, so and a couple of other bits. So I thought I'd do a quick video on that, so let's have a chat about that. Okay, so first things first, let me just reassure you, in case you're worried, I am not partaking in Dry January in any form. So brewing is still going on as usual. Got a couple of videos in the pipeline for that, and I am trying to reduce the certainly the midweek beer intake a little bit at the moment. So like a lot of others, you know, on a little bit of a New Year's health kick, but Dry January, fuck that nonsense, not for me. Yeah, I don't think I'd get on with just completely restricting myself in that way and denying myself beer that I do want to drink. So yeah, cut down a little bit, maybe do a little bit more running around and exercise and eating a bit less, and hopefully feel a little bit healthier by at least the end of the month, when I'm sure I'll go back to all my bad habits and cancel out any benefits that I've achieved. So anyway, not here to talk about that. Let's talk about the podcast first of all. There's a couple of other bits that I want to mention, including a little competition that's been set up by another brew tuber locally, Mick Martin, and that's Flatbeer Brewing. I'll put a link up to his channel above. And what else? I had some things in mind that I was going to talk about. I'll probably remember them towards the end anyway. So the podcast, it's called The Hop Edition, and it is on Mixcloud, so you can search The Hop Edition on there and find it, or click on the link that I'll put in the description below. That's Hop Edition as in adding hops, not Hop Edition as in a newspaper edition. So yeah, if you want to go and check that out and have a listen, that would be cool, and we'd love to get some feedback as well. I did it with my friend Chris, who's up in Wakefield, and we've basically just sat in our sheds and chatted over Messenger and recorded it, and then I put the two audio recordings together and made a podcast out of it. So it's very much off the cuff, not rehearsed or really planned that much, to be honest, but we just had a little chat about a couple of things that we think are important for brewing well and also enjoying your home brewing. So a little introductory episode to talk about us and those sort of little tips that we've got for you, and really, yeah, it's just us chatting about homebrewing, which we do all the time anyway, so we thought we'd give it a go recording it for a podcast and see if anyone liked it. So yeah, have a listen and tell us what you think. Feel free to tell us how rubbish it is as well as how good it is, or if you've got any ideas for what you would like to hear on a podcast, or suggestions for how you think we could improve it. That would all be greatly received, because yeah, it's just a bit of fun at the moment, but we'll see how it goes, and if people like it, we might try and put it on some of the places where it can be distributed a little bit more widely. So yeah, link in the description below. Go and check that out and have a listen if you want to, and let us know what you think. Either comment on Mixcloud itself, or on this video, or if you found this on a Facebook link, just leave us a comment there as well. So that would be awesome. So yeah, it was about an hour long. It's not to be listened to with children in the room, because there are quite a few moments of flowery language, shall we say. So if you do make it all the way to the end of that, well done, and hopefully that will mean that you kind of enjoyed us yeah, chatting breeze about homebrewing and stuff. So that was the first bit of news, and the other thing that I was going to talk about is this competition that Mick Martin Flatbeer Brewing has set up. So it's just a little local kind of bit of fun competition that he's done in conjunction with Black and Sun Brewery over in Milton Keynes. So Gary Morse over there has helped out by providing some grains, and Mick has provided a whole bunch of hops out of his vast collection of hops that you may have seen he's been buying recently if you're on the BrewTube Facebook group. So the idea is basically everyone who's doing this, it's mainly people from the Milton Keynes Homebrew Group and a couple of us from over at the Bedford Homebrewers Group. We all get given the same set of malts, we all get given the same set of hops, and we've got to basically brew something out of those, and then I think we're all going to get given one of the beers from each of the other brewers and do a sort of blind tasting and judging on it. And yeah, the person who's judged to have the best beer is the winner. So what we have got is a couple of kilos of Constable Malt, which I'd never heard of before, but that is apparently a heritage variety that was previously used by Tetleys. So think kind of traditional English ale malt used for bitters and stuff like that, I suppose. Then there was something that I could not find any information at all called Distilled Malt, which was basically because it's a very small batch of malt that's been made by a local maltster, not in any great quantity, so it was just a bit of an experiment apparently, and it's essentially lager malt that's been kilned for quite a while to give you something along the lines of a fairly dark Munich apparently, or that's how it sort of behaves when it's being brewed with. And then there's a load of acid malt, so far too much to be used in the quantity that's been given, but can be used at the brewer's discretion according to the rules, so maybe just chuck a little bit of that in there for pH adjustment. We can actually add another 2 kilos of pale malt of our own choice, and otherwise we have to use those malts that have been provided. So we've got the hops then, and Mick has given us 200 grams of Brewers Gold, 200 grams of Palisade, and 200 grams of Ahtanum hops. So yeah, any combination of those. In terms of the yeast, we're totally free to choose whatever yeast we want for that, and can be any ABV or IBUs or any style that you can conceivably produce out of those ingredients. So give me some help, guys. I want some suggestions for what I could do with that. I'll put the ingredients in the description below so you can see those all written out, but yeah, help me out here. What could I brew with these ingredients? I don't know if there's anything immediately jumping out at me. It's going to be fairly limited in terms of sort of colour wise. I'm not sure we're going to be able to go much beyond a sort of amber ale with this in terms of colour, depending on how dark that sort of kilned lager malt slash Munich stuff comes out, but everything else is going to be fairly pale. The hops there, Palisade and Ahtanum, are American hops, but I don't think they're the most kind of potent or aromatic American hops that there are, but they would certainly have some American character to them. And Brewers Gold, I think, is a bit more of a traditional, is that a noble hop? I'm not sure. It might be German, I can't remember, but I think it's definitely more of a traditional variety. So could do a combination of those, or yeah, you don't have to use all the hops, so you can pick out those whichever ones you want to use. But yeah, let me know what you think I could do with those, and maybe throw in some suggestions for a style of beer, or even a recipe if you want to come up with a recipe for me and let me know. So yeah, stick a comment on that if you want to. So that kind of covers that. What were the other things I wanted to mention? So I have got a little shout out for the guys down at the Worcestershire Homebrew Club who put on their first competition weekend just gone. So the Worcester Invitational, which they did, and yeah, well done for doing that. I put a couple of beers in, didn't get anything placed, but the Golden Ale, which I put in, which was actually the Citra Golden Ale from the video that I'll link above, the one with the Citra BBC hops in it, that scored a 38, which I'm really chuffed with, so that's a good score. And it did get shortlisted for the places, but just didn't quite make it into the top 3, so a good result all the same, even though it didn't quite manage to get placed. But we won't talk about the bitter that I put in, because that didn't do so well, not at all, no. But yeah, the Golden Ale did all right, so pretty happy with that. They did a couple of things in that comp a bit different as well, so streaming the results live on Facebook, which was cool, so I managed to see those as they were happening. And they also did digital score sheets, so they were using tablets and stuff for the score sheets, and filling them in on yeah, iPads or laptops or whatever, and then they could obviously upload them pretty much straight away after that. which also meant that all the text was in type on the actual digital document itself, so there weren't any issues with scanning or legibility, being able to read it, which as you may know if you've entered competitions, can be a bit of a problem sometimes once it's gone through the scanner and handwriting and all of that stuff. So good work, guys, and I believe that they're looking at maybe expanding that competition in the future, maybe involving some other Midlands clubs. So if you're in a homebrew club around that area in the Midlands, and you want to get involved in that sort of competition or a bigger competition, then maybe look those guys up. Get in touch with probably Dan Walters is the best person to chat to on that front. Find him on most of the Facebook groups and so on, or go on their website and check them out. So yeah, good work there. And the only other thing still is what I've got brewing at the moment. So there is an IPA in the American IPA in the fridge behind me. We have it's a bit of a user upper brew. I'm doing a video on that, so look out for that coming up soon. It's Simcoe, Bravo, Calypso, Citra, and that's it. And some Pilsner malt and Munich, a bit of caramel malt that I'm needing to use up as well. So it smells quite good in the fermenter at the moment, so I'm quite hopeful, but it is a bit of a yeah, finishing off the ends of hot bags and grains and stuff. So the recipe will hopefully come out okay, even though it's just kind of to an extent some random ingredients thrown together, but we'll see. I'll put the video up whether it comes out terrible or not, just to show you what result we get from that. So that's it, yeah. So please go and check out that podcast. I'll probably do a video for the beer for the competition and throw me in some suggestions for what you think I should brew for that. And yeah, that's about it. So cheers.
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino.